Now that the Galaxy S7 is officially out, you can pick up last year's Galaxy S6 on the cheap. Alright, it's not exactly pocket change, but it is still a lot cheaper than the S7, and it is still a bloody brilliant phone. For a start, this was one of the first Samsung phones to boast gorgeous good looks, with that wonderful combo of metal and glass. Sure, the back panel still gets scuffed up in no time at all, and it greedily attracts grease for my oily fingers, especially after an inadvisable 2 AM kebab. But chances are you want to wrap the S6 in a protective bumper anyway, to keep your expensive new gadget safe in case of a tumble. And while little design issues like that jutting camera are occasionally annoying, they're not exactly a proper problem. I don't even miss the lack of waterproofing either, except when I want to take a sexy shower selfie, obviously. I love how the S6 is still one of the only flagship phones that can comfortably be used one-handed too. It's not quite as wonderfully contoured as the S7, but I never have to mess around adjusting my grip or end up resorting to Samsung's one-handed mode. It's not really a surprise that Samsung basically took the S6's excellent 5.1-inch Quad HD Super AMOLED panel and then stuck it straight onto this year's S7. Even in 2016, that screen is still gorgeously sharp and pleasingly vibrant, making it one of the best displays you'll find on a phone. Unfortunately, there's not much room for all your media and games thanks to the lack of expandable storage, something that Samsung thankfully did sort out for the S7. Our 32GB model had about 25GB free at the start, which gets filled distressingly fast. And it proves an especially big shock come update time, as the Android Marshmallow upgrade required almost 1.5 GB of free space to download and install. We'd recommend picking up a decent data allowance with your Galaxy S6 and just streaming your media if possible. This year's Galaxy S7 does pack a few extra features compared to last year's Galaxy S6, but to be perfectly honest, most of them are a bit cack. The S6 already packs most of the S7's best tools, including the excellent and accurate fingerprint sensor. And now the S6 has been updated to full Android Marshmallow, which brings Google's latest features such as full control over your app permissions. And while the S6 may be a year old now, it's still blazingly fast during everyday use. In fact, only a handful of other phones have overtaken it in our benchmarking tests, including the Samsung's own Galaxy S7 and the Note 5. Games still play with a perfect frame rate as you'd expect, and side-by-side app multitasking isn't an issue. Best of all, the S6 doesn't get toasty during extended gaming sessions, unlike some of its rivals. Battery life is still great too, with no real degradation even after 12 months of use. You'll still make it through a full day even if you're regularly checking your phone. And if you want to stream video non-stop, you can expect around 8 hours of life, which is one of the better results that we've seen. One of the most impressive highlights of the Galaxy S6 is its dependable 16MP camera, still one of the best mobile snappers around. The lens is quick at locking onto your subject, so you could snap away almost instantly, while that excellent auto mode means you'll almost never have to switch to pro mode to get a sharp, well-lit shot. To see how the S6 camera still holds up well, check out our massive camera super test over at recombi.com/mobile, where we pit it not only against the new S7, but also last year's G4 and the Z5. If you're seriously thinking of upgrading to one of the latest flagship phones such as the Galaxy S7, maybe just stop a moment and consider last year's S6 instead. It definitely still holds its own against the latest flagships and at a much lower cost. The only real drawback with the S6 is that lack of expandable storage, but the good news is that you can now pick up a refurbed 64GB model for around about 30 quids a month. And compared to those hefty S7 tariffs, that's really a pretty sweet deal. For a full Galaxy S6 re-review, as well as reviews of the latest phones such as the Galaxy S7, check out recombi.com/mobile. Thanks for watching.